Hello there. So, we covered the longsword and the mailbreaker. I think it's time for something a little bigger. Yep, the Claymore. The essence of big weapons. Bigger is better, as they always say. Well, that only depends on how you use your big weapon. Okay, enough of those jokes. So the Claymore is rather easy to get. You can get in the high wall of Lothric, pretty much one of the first areas. Mind you, you have to brave a dragon, but if you can make it screw off with a couple of arrows, it'll be much easier to acquire. So big weapons are threatening. They swing a wide area, you can do a lot of damage to them. The only downside is they're heavier. So you swing slower and they weigh more. So depending all on your character, they could be a great asset or they could be a passing footnote. But no matter. So, what about the Claymore? Is it good? So, this Claymore is pretty much you can't get any more basic of great swords. Like there's no other basic one, maybe the Bastard Sword, but the Claymore looks wonderful. I wish to own one in real life, maybe one day. Maybe one day, but just storing it may be a problem, but it looks wonderful. Just holding it like that puts fear into your enemies, guaranteed. Maybe. So, description is, unusually large and heavy greatsword, normally wielded with two hands. It's a highly versatile weapon, can be swung broadly or thrustly. It has skill stance, which shares it with the longsword stance. But there's much heavier weapons, player claims. So, stat-wise, we can see we got a lot of damage. With physical at 138, it's a good little buff with my strength. Thanks to the attribute bonus, it's not really that great. It's a D category for both strength and dexterity. That also means you could still be a dexterity build and use this. Mind you, you'll still need the attribute requirement of 16 strength, but that's not too terribly much. Stance-wise, it's pretty cheap. But the weight is a bit heavy, of 9.0. So, in terms of your dexterity build, this might be a bit heavy for you, but you can still use it. Otherwise, everything is pretty plain. Also, damage absorption is okay compared to most weapons. You get at least 50% cut on physical. Because chances are, if you're using this, you might want to use two-handed the whole way. And you'll see with the animations here in a few seconds. But all the way. So animations. Single based, you can see your character must swing around in order to get the sword around. It is heavy. Power attacks, you got thrusts. Actually rather quick. Two-handed, you can see it changes its nature. It goes from now a vertical swing, very important, and it's quicker. Power thrust, pretty much enough said. Same as the first one, just more powerful. So now, the stances, again, it shares the same with the sword stance. You have the two different ones. You got base attack, and you got the normal attack. Also, when you sprint and attack this weapon, you do a swing around. Now, I'm going to do the upgrade part first this time, and then take it to battle. Figure it'd be a better presentation that way this time around. So you can see you get 13, then 14 per Tatenite shard. And then another 14. As you can see, that this is actually a pretty good upgrade. Yeah. I've now added around 35 to 40 damage. So that's a pretty good turnout. Now, in terms of performance, well, you got a big effing sword. I don't need a shield to present this. You can see, even with them guarding, I do the same damage as that parry dagger, that's what it's called. But anyway, you can see lots of critical, but these guys are weak. Just in the way from my real targets. But anyway, now these knight guys is what I wanted to test it on. They're a better demonstration. So as you remember, the same damage as that parry dagger, but however, it's much slower. I can't interrupt their attack so much, but when I hit them, it hurts. A lot. Now, against their spears a lot. Just one charge attack, and he's pretty much down the count. Easily. But that was too easy. Let's take it on a bigger opponent. The Winged Knight. Now with a basic dodge, I don't care if he hits me. but a critical attack nearly kills him. Nearly. And the charge, he's down. Easy. Very good weapon. I can see myself using it easily. So, some pros and cons. On the pro side, you've got a lot of damage with the heavy weapon. You also got plenty of reach. And on top of that, you can easily eliminate smaller enemies' poise. You can cut right down through their shield and stamina with this heavy weapon. But on the con side, however, it's a heavy weapon, so that means its swing speed is lower. Also, to properly use the animation, to get your little advantage in speed, you must use two-handed, which leaves an absence of a shield to guard with. So it's your risk for choosing. You can use without a shield, but it'd be pretty much half a second slower in terms of attack speed. That's up to you, though. But otherwise, I found it to be an excellent weapon. Very good. And that's just a basic Claymore. There's even better ones out there. So, the Claymore. You can get it early in the game. It's very good to upgrade. I can even use this as an endgame weapon. I can take this all the way to endgame and not have too much trouble with it. There are better weapons, sure, but those weapons are much farther in your playthrough. And you might even require Titanite scales or twinkling Titanite when this one takes plain Titanite shards. Very good weapon. I recommend it to just about anyone who's willing for more of a physical build. Not really designed for mages or, well, faith users. But even some people using dexterity might even want this weapon. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.